Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video here today from the Tech Cash House. As always, hope all of you guys are having a great one. Now, I've been discussing Bitcoin day trading recently, fairly, surface level discussion. It hasn't been anything too in-depth. So I decided that today I want to go ahead and kind of examine Bitcoin day trading a bit more in depth and bring all of you some more helpful information and really a more step-by-step guide on how exactly I set everything up for my account, how exactly I got started day trading Bitcoin, recently anyway, using TradingView, and how it's fairly simple to make a little bit of extra money using a couple of key indicators simply on TradingView to kind of trade back and forth. A lot of people think that day trading is a very enigmatic thing. A lot of people think that it's something that's unattainable to the average person. That's completely not true. If you know what you're doing, it's actually fairly simple, and it's pretty easy to understand. So in today's video, because we are just starting out, and it's episode 1, I'm going to go ahead and set up the whole TradingView sort of deal and show all of you step by step which indicators I use, which plan I have on my account to essentially facilitate day trading with Bitcoin as much as possible, and what exactly I look for to kind of get the ball rolling. In the next video, we'll probably discuss the technicals of Bitcoin, day trading, the ins and outs, so to speak, of using this setup to actually trade, or I may actually transition into setting up a directly linked trading account. In fact, that's probably what I will do. So anyway, in today's video, this is the basic sort of setup with TradingView. It's pretty much the surface level setup, which I would encourage all of you to follow if you want a more easy trading experience. Of course, do be aware that day trading can be risky and it can cause you to lose money if you are not careful. But anyway, guys, the potential is also still there to make money, so keep that in mind. And I have had pretty good success with this strategy. So this is TradingView. You can see here this is a basic chart when you have it full screen. It's fairly simple. It doesn't look all that helpful. And a lot of people try to day trade just looking at a basic line plot here, or a mountain plot rather, or an area plot as some people like to call it. This is probably one of the worst strategies you can use to day trade Bitcoin. Just looking at this and going, I'm going to follow this line and hope that I can buy the momentum well enough to make money. That is a bad strategy, and just doing that is not an effective way to earn money day trading Bitcoin. You don't want to use line plots or mountain plots to day trade because, quite frankly, it just doesn't make sense. It's not detailed enough, it's not informative, and it's really going to result in you losing money rather than making money. Because you want to see when exactly you should buy in and sell out in order to make the most from your short-term investments when you're day trading. So the first thing you want to do here, okay, is go up to this upper left-hand corner, and change area or line plot to candles. Now, essentially, candles are, they're candles, okay, and they have bodies and they have wicks. And essentially what these allow you to do is see momentum of buying and selling a bit more clearly. For example, a large red candle means that there's good sell momentum, or a lot of people are selling. A large green candle indicates that there's good buying momentum, or a lot of people are buying. And that makes following the overall trend here much easier. You can see here that some selling is actually going on right now, and that is a good thing to be able to see. That's not the only indicator you'll actually use to tell whether or not you should be buying or selling, but it's a great place to start. Okay, this is an excellent way to kind of begin getting into the habit of checking market momentum and seeing what exactly the market is doing, aside from just looking at a line. Candles are much more useful, and they may seem intimidating at first, but honestly, once you take a short while to get used to them, you really do understand them pretty quickly. So the next thing that you want to do, and this is my personal preference, but I find it makes trading much easier, especially because day trading can be high stress, is you want to go ahead and right-click on the chart and go to Color Theme down here in this menu and go to Dark. Okay, now that changes the theme to dark mode, and that makes just the whole experience a bit more pleasant in my opinion. I'm not necessarily a dark mode elitist, but I do think it makes day trading a bit less stressful when you're looking at this sort of black, cool-looking chart rather than something that's bright and very much in your face. Something else that I would actually strongly recommend doing is getting familiar with the different time periods of this chart. Now, for day trading, I prefer 1 minute. Some people prefer 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15, etc. It really depends how quick you want to get in and out of your positions. So I, of course, like I said, prefer 1 minute, but if you're interested in having a slightly better outlook, in terms of overall trends being established over slightly longer periods of time. You can choose 45, but it's not going to be as quick. It's not going to update as quickly as the 1 minute chart will. So that's why I prefer 1 minute. Makes it easy to kind of see what exactly is going on the minute-to-minute basis. And for day trading, especially if you're opening very, very short-term positions, that's definitely useful, okay? You want to stay up to date and see what exactly is going on as the market really moves. So that's up here in the upper left-hand corner. You can adjust the time frame. It goes all the way up to 1 month. You can actually set custom ranges as well, but it's kind of unnecessary for what we're doing. So stick with 1 minute or slightly longer if you'd like to, but 1 minute is the best in terms of response time. So that is the basic chart. That's what we're looking at now. But you might be saying, how can I day trade with this? It doesn't seem all that helpful, and you'd be right, okay? Just looking at a candlestick chart as it develops is not all that helpful. You're totally right about that. So what you want to do now is you want to go ahead and set up some indicators. Now, indicators are basically tools or things or algorithms with additional charts that help you make decisions on when exactly you should be buying and when you should be selling. For example, you might be looking at this candlestick chart now and saying, there's a lot of sell momentum, I should probably sell now. And that would not be entirely right, because that is just based on the candle and not necessarily buy momentum. So anyway, let's go ahead and check out the indicators that I use and I set up to get a basic sense. Now, I do want to disclaim to all of you, you will need probably a TradingView Pro Plus account to actually set this up. With a Pro Plus account, you can set up to 4 indicators on the chart here, and there are 3 of them that you absolutely must have. So Pro Plus is kind of necessary. There are ways to skirt around that, but really if you want to be extremely effective, I would go Pro Plus. I currently have a premium account, which is $59 a month. Pro Plus is $29.95. Don't be turned off by that, okay, because there are free trials you can use. So if you want to go ahead and use a trial, feel free to do that. The trial's a month long. It's easy to cancel. If it's not for you, you can get out at any time, okay? It's fairly simple and really pretty easy to use. And TradingView is they're very lenient in terms of pricing, okay? They oftentimes have discounts. They're not going to be extreme sticklers. They're going to make it easy for you to cancel your account if you would like to. And for that reason, it makes day trading pretty easy. And TradingView is an obvious choice if you want to use it moving forward with your trades. But anyway, that's just a brief disclaimer. You will want to go ahead and probably upgrade to a Pro Plus account, like I said. There's always a trial. Please use the trial before you pay, just because I don't want anyone feeling like they got burned because they can't actually use it effectively. So anyway, once you have that, once you have your account set up and you're ready to really get serious, you're going to go ahead and want to search for stochastics. Now, stochastics are essentially... Okay, stochastic is what's actually listed as. Stochastics are a way of seeing if the market is overbought or oversold. Essentially, anything over 80 is overbought, anything under 20 is oversold. And when the market is overbought, that's typically a good time to sell. As you can see here, that lines up pretty well. Okay, when blue crosses back down through orange, that's when you want to sell. Okay, percent %D, percent %K, etc., etc. I'll get more into the details of that slightly later on. Or probably in the next episode. And then essentially when blue crosses up through orange, when it's below 20, that is when you want to buy. That's when the asset is typically at the lowest point relative to its current momentum. But that is kind of beside the point, because before you really trade, you also want to add 2 other indicators. One is RSI, which is the relative strength index. It's built right in. Very easy to use. You can see the line here is red. I prefer to change mine to white. Okay, I think that's the most useful for me and it's easiest for me to see. Now, essentially what this is it is a relative strength indicator for the market. And basically, it helps you reconfirm the movements of the stochastics lines. Okay, so you can see here that a relative strength indicator and stochastics right now are somewhat lining up. RSI is basically used to determine momentum as well. Stochastics and RSI are fairly similar in that regard. With RSI, however, the overbought line is 70 and above. The oversold line is 30 and below. So keep that in mind. But generally speaking, when you're trading, you want to see both of these line up, and that is when you know to make some moves. For example, both of these right now are trending toward oversold, and that means that, because we have a double confirmation, that could be a good time to buy. Of course, it's not as low as I want to see it, but anyway, that's aside the point. The third indicator that you're going to want to go ahead and add is actually the MACD, which is the Moving Average Convergence Divergence essentially indicator. Okay, now what this does is it also shows buying and selling momentum, okay, with overbought and oversold also being considered. However, it focuses more on using bars and other techniques to kind of show you when exactly the buying momentum is changing, to selling momentum, and so on and so forth. So now we have our three indicators here, okay, and you can see that they all operate basically in tandem. And the thing is, when the buy and sell signals across all of these line up, that is when you buy and sell, because essentially having these three indicators gives you a lot of confirmation. Having one is a good start. Having two is a better move. Okay, having three is really a good idea, because when you have three indicators and you're cross comparing them and looking for buy sell indicators and momentum indicators across all of them, you can really see when exactly the best time to buy and sell would actually be. For example, if you were looking here and you thought it was a good time to sell, you could check on the MACD and confirm that actually the buying momentum had pretty much maxed out, and that would be a fairly good time to sell. And then we see crossover events and all of that good stuff as well. So those are the basic indicators. Honestly speaking, I don't use many other things to day trade on the TradingView platform. It's fairly simple. Of course, you're going to want to go ahead and set up another account, a TradingView associated trading account, because that's going to be critical. That will be set up down here, and we'll focus on that in the next episode, so don't worry about that for now. But do watch the next episode if you want to see how exactly to do that. This was just the basic method of setting up the chart on TradingView, and I found this to be very useful. Okay, use your indicators with your candlesticks and everything to basically confirm when to buy, when to sell, and it's pretty darn easy. So we're going to go ahead and look at the TradingView associated Forex accounts in the next video. So I'll go ahead and talk about that. I'll probably release that tomorrow. I'm guessing sometime in the afternoon as well. But then for all of you watching in the future, when all of the videos have been released, you can just watch them back to back. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, this is a good introduction, I think, for setting up the charts, because really, if you don't set up these indicators, you kind of won't have any idea what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to see what exactly the next episode's about, but it will be related to this, I am sure of that, and it's going to kind of help all of you move on to the next step of the process. So anyway, pretty simple video, pretty easy to understand. Once again, check out the trials, okay, for TradingView, because, like I said, you don't want to pay unnecessarily. Their trial periods are about a month, and, go ahead and experiment before you actually put any money down. And then if you're doing well with Bitcoin day trading, or you want to continue, that is the point, when you can go ahead and pay for your account. If you don't like it, you can cancel it. So anyway, this is, like I said, not a promotion for TradingView. It's just simply what I found to be the best. Pretty easy to use, pretty simple. And yeah, if any of you have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and let me know in the comment section. Of course, I'm always open to questions. I always want to hear what you have to say. I'm gonna, I think, wrap it up here. I don't think I have anything else to say about this specifically. But watch the next video. In part 2, we'll be discussing the next step of the process. So go ahead and check it out. I might talk about alerts probably in episode 3 or 4, because that's when we'll get more into the trading specifics. But anyway, guys, you're going to want to follow each step of the process, because otherwise it'll become a bit confusing, and you don't want that to happen. Obviously following it, a bit more slowly and taking your time is a good idea with day trading, because it can be riskier. So anyway, guys, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. I'll see all of you in the next one. Have a great one, folks, and adios.